I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself.
Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? Welcome to an episode of RBO. It's your boy Vaughn. We are back. NBA season is right around the corner, guys. It's an exciting time of the year, not just for NBA fans, but for sports fans in general. I mean, we literally have every league going on right now. We have the baseball in the postseason still. We have the WNBA finals right now. We have the NFL season still hot. College football season is still in the beginning, getting to the middle, and then we had the college basketball season about to start as well, along with the NBA. So it's literally every single sport that we have, like the main sports. Oh, and also hockey just started as well. So right now, what a time is it for sports lovers? But I'm your boy Vaughn. We're here for an episode of RBO. Today we will be doing a preview for 4 teams. We're doing 2 teams in the East, which are the Hawks and the Cavs. Then we're going to travel to the West. Or actually, we're going to start in the West with the Jazz, and then we're going to talk about the Warriors, and then we're heading over East to the Hawks and the Cavs. So before I get started, I would like everybody to like this here video, this live. I want everybody to subscribe to the channel. Also, you can share this to anybody that's a fan of the NBA, because RBO is back, NBA is back, so we have a lot to talk about. And make sure you enjoy the show. We also have a lot of other shows on the network. It's not just RBO. We have plenty of different shows on the Refuse to Lose network that you guys have to check out. Each show is down low in the bio. Please check them out. Subscribe to each one. If you're a fan of different sports, we literally have one for almost every sport. So please check those guys out. And no more to say from me for the intro, so let's dive right into it. All right, like I said, the first team that we're going to dive into is the Utah Jazz. Hold up. Shout out my boy Blaze. The 199 chat, my boy, I appreciate you. Let's go, fire emoji. Let's get that Chip Russ. Hashtag Wemby, Defensive Player of the Year. Hey, Russ is in a perfect spot. First of all, thanks a lot, Blaze. Shout out to my boy Blaze. He's a Russ fan, so he's rooting for the Nuggets, I'm sure. And as you can see, he's a Wemby fan as well. So we have a Nuggets Spur fan here. Shout out my boy with the 199 super chat. But yeah, man, I like the hashtags. Rush is in a good spot to win the ship, especially if he plays his role with a team like the Nuggets. They have what everybody says, the best player in the world, so we'll see. And then Wemby Defensive Player of the Year, I think everybody knows that's most likely to happen this year. He almost won it last year playing the minimum minutes that he played, but the way he impacted the game is crazy. Shout out to my boy Blaze, man. Shout out to my boy Blaze. But let's continue to talk about these Jazz, man. Utah Jazz. Everybody know about this team. They made a lot of moves, getting rid of Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, let go to Bogdanovich. They accumulating a lot of draft picks, a lot of young talent. And I'm loving what I'm seeing from this team. They have a young coach. Their coach, Will Hardy. I like this coach a lot. They hired him back in 2022. He's one of the younger coaches in the league. A little background on him. He was an intern with the Spurs for about 10 years. So, and he was an assistant coach. He ended up getting promoted up to an assistant coach to Greg Popovich, 2016, 2017 year, I believe. And we know what Popovich done in those years, with Tim Duncan and those guys. Success. So Will Hardy is used to success. He knows what it looks like. He also was an assistant coach 1 year with the Celtics, and that was the year Udoka was the coach. And we all know what the Celtics did there. They went to the conference finals. They went to the conference finals for the first time since 2010. So shout out to no, I actually went to the finals. My bad, Teddy. Don't get me, bro. Don't get me. Shout out. So Will Hardy actually has seen success. He knows what success looks like. And when you watch this team, the Jazz team, they're young, like I said, not as experienced. They don't have the most talent, but they have some young talent, and this team plays hard. I call this team a parlay killer. This is one of those teams where they'll be playing a team like the Nuggets or something on the night, and next thing you know, the Nuggets minus 400, and they end up losing to the Jazz away in Utah, because this team plays hard. They have talent out there. Lloyd Markkanen, we all know what he is. He's probably one of the best scorers at his position, being a 7-footer that can also defend the rim, also rebound very well. And like I said, he's a great shooter, great scorer. He's one of my favorite players to actually watch. Last year, for the Jazz, like I said, they have a lot of young talent. This isn't a team that's going to compete, or I don't even think they would make the play-in, to be honest. They are a team that can compete for the play-in because, like I said, they have a lot of young talent, and I think Lauri Markkanen is a very, very good player. He's excellent scorer. It's like once he's hot, he's very hot, and he doesn't need a lot to get his shots off. He can score from almost anywhere on the court. That's a good thing about him. But one thing last year that this team was able to do was to let their young players really get a lot of burn. Keontae George, one of my favorite rookies from last year. He had a pretty good year last year. His numbers, he averaged 12 points. He averaged 4.4 assists and about 3 rebounds, about 1 steal, almost just 1 turnover. 2.5 turnovers. I like what I saw from Keontae George. Keontae George had a lot of big games from the three-point line. He showed that he can stretch the floor. He can be a prolific shooter in this league. He showed that. So that's one thing that they did learn this year. The new addition of John Collins from the Hawks, I thought that he played pretty well for them this year. He's an undersized power forward, but he is pretty skilled. He is young as well. This team was trying to get Porzingis last year, but Porzingis, Jazz, or the Celtics. I mean, you pick for him. You already know who he's going to go with. So they had to settle for John Collins. I can see a guy like a Jordan Clarkson getting traded this year from this team. I really think this team is really starting fresh. I think this team is really, taking everything one step at a time. They got rid of Gobert, they got rid of Donovan Mitchell, and they're pretty much hitting the reset button, if you ask me. They have a ton of picks, ton of young talent, and I feel like they're in the driver's seat right now. Don't be surprised if this team trades away a lot of this depth that they have to try to get some picks and to try to get Cooper Flag next year. That's going to be interesting, you know, because he kind of the same player that Marketing is in a sense, in a way. That would be pretty interesting. Let's talk about a couple rookies that they just drafted this year that I think that we should keep our eyes out for. Um, First rookie, one of my favorite picks out of the draft, Cody Williams out of Colorado. He's a 6'9" forward. The dude can do it all, man. He's a solid scorer, solid defender, solid rebound. He has solid size, like I said, 6'9" out there, and I like the edge he plays with. He's not like a very loud player, loud talker, nothing, but you can tell he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Another guy is Kyle Flipowski out of Duke. You know, he got that bad reputation for clipping up people, the fan. I believe it was a fan that he clipped up, and a player, I believe he also clipped up. But those incidents left a bad rap. But let's not mistake, the kid can play, the guy can play, he can get buckets. He's a 7-footer, just like Marketing. He kind of reminds me of Marketing. He doesn't have the ball handling skills of a Marketing, however, has a touch. 7-footer. He knows how to play the game very well. He's a guy that can run the pick roll, pick and pop, and he's a very high IQ player as well, especially coming out of Duke. He did have, I believe, he played 1 year under Coach K, I believe, which is good. Also, another guy that I like, Isaiah Collier. This team has a lot of young guards, I've noticed. You know, you got Keontae George. You also have what's my guy name? Colin Sexton, Jason Preston. I'm not sure that's the young guy at Ohio. I'm not sure if he's ever going to get no burn the way they do these guys these days. And they have Isaiah Collier out of USC. He's a rookie to watch out for as well. I'm not sure what the playing time is going to be like due to the fact they have a lot of guards, which is why I think a guy like a Jordan Clarkson, which I think Jordan Clarkson can really help a contender, like a team that needs a little spark off the bench, you know, a guy that can come off the bench and fill it up. Jordan Clarkson is that guy. Still has a lot of game left to him. He just got his first triple-double, I believe, last year. That's the cool thing about their coach, man. I believe he's like a player's coach. He left Jordan Clarkson in the game just to get his triple-double and took him out soon as it was over. You love to see stuff like that. But they also picked up Patty Mills, which is a cool vet, I would say, for these young guys. I said they got a lot of young guards. He's not a vet in the sense that, you know, you'll see him out there showing them new dribble moves and stuff like that. He's just a guy that's been around, a guy that's been in a lot of different locker rooms, championship locker rooms, even the pedigree he has overseas. You know, he's a big-time player overseas, so I believe he can share a lot of information to these young guys. And they got Oscar out of Kentucky, the big man. He's a undersized center, 6'9", but he does play hard, plays with the edge. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to get some burn. It's going to be interesting to see that. Now, another player I want to just shout out right quick is my guy Taylor Hendricks from UCF. My bad, from UCF. I like Taylor Hendricks, man. He's 6'9". He can shoot the rock. He can defend, move pretty well. This team has a lot of length. That's another thing. Like, even their guards. Let's look at this. Jordan Clarkson, 6'5". Collier, 6'5". Keontae George, 6'4". The only small guards they really have is Patty Mills and Colin Sexton at 6'1" and 6'2". Everybody else is pretty tall, I must say, for the guard. So this team has a lot of length, and that's why I said, you know, they're gonna catch some teams and get them out the way. This team is what I call a parlay killer. Watch out for this team on the early Sunday afternoon or something, or Wednesday night after a back-to-back. Watch out for the Jazz. These boys come out playing hard every night, especially at home. But I can see the Jazz just, possibly competing for a play-in spot. They have a lot of young, inexperienced talent, but they do have talent and depth. It's just not the best. So we'll see what Coach Hardy can do. Last year, this team was 31-51, finished 12th, didn't even make the play-in. So I think they can improve a little bit from that if they can stay healthy. We do know Markkanen didn't play the whole season last year due to, his situation that he had going on. But he played 55 games. Clarkson only played 55 games. This team had to stay healthy and they can continue to grow and get better. But enough of the Jazz. The Jazz, like I said, nice, a lot of young talent. If you got some parlays, this is a team that you can pick some guys from that's going to, outdo what the parlays think they're going to do just because they have a lot of guys that can contribute on their team. Shout out my boy Ty. Yeah, appreciate the about the help. Hey, I got, believe it or not, 5 below. Don't sleep. Jazz got to make a few trades. Yeah, Ty, I agree. I think the Jazz, they have a lot of draft picks. I think the Jazz are really going to try to get a Cooper for that. I think that's what's on their mind, to be honest. They've been racking up all these picks. They couldn't get Wemby. They got guys like Jordan Clarkson that I think can go. I really don't see why they wouldn't get rid of Collins, to be honest. I'm just saying. Like, they did just sign him, but I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of Collins too. That's just me. All right, the next team we're going to talk about, we got an OG team here, man. Come on, man. Let's talk about this OG team, man. It's the Warriors. We all know about Steve Kerr. I don't got to break down who Steve Kerr is. The guy that took over what Mark Jackson built, just to sum it up for everybody. Steve Kerr and the Warriors last year was 46-36, finished 10th, last place, and just to make the play-in, and they lost first round against the Kings. Kings got their get back. That's exactly what happened. Kings got their get back. This Warriors team is different, man. This Warriors team no longer has Splash Brother Klay Thompson on the team no more. Now, I know a lot of people like, it's not a big deal. Klay Thompson hasn't been balling as of lately, which is true. He hasn't really been balling since the injury. Klay Thompson hasn't really found himself back, getting back to himself on the defensive end or even especially in the offensive end. But even on the defensive end, he hasn't really found himself. You see him, he just doesn't look like himself. He just hasn't. You see spurts, but it's not consistent. So him going to the Mavericks may have been what's best for both sides, to be honest, because Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, I believe, can still win without Klay now. It's only question is, what are these other guys going to do? Let's start with their roster right now. Kyle Anderson, he's not a great shooter. I like Kyle Anderson for all the little things. He's a good passer, decent rebounder, decent defender, cool rebounder for his position, and his defense isn't the worst. But he can't shoot that well. You have Buddy Hield, new addition. We know Buddy can shoot. We know Buddy is one of the best shooters to ever play in this league. We also know Buddy can disappear. Shout out my boy Ty. He's a Pacers fan. He can definitely attest to this. Buddy can disappear. He just hit, I think, like 5. He just went like 6 for 6 in the first half in a preseason game the other day. Let's see what he does when the lights are on. Now, I'm not doubting him because I like to see players shine, and I think the Warriors is like the perfect situation for Buddy. Like, literally, I think that's the perfect place for Buddy. I mean, you're alongside a guy that also can shoot very well. You're pretty much taking the role of Klay Thompson. Actually, what I've been hearing through the grapevine is they think Pods, Brandon Podemski, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I call him Poe. I'm going to just get back to my Poe. My man Poe. They said he can be the new Klay. They want him taking those shots. I haven't seen that out of him yet. I do think he's a solid player. I do think he does little bit of everything. That's what I like about him. I haven't seen that him being Clay, like the catch and shoot, take as many shots as Clay, all that. I haven't seen that out of him. But one thing I can say about this team is they have a lot of depth. They have decent depth. Now, let's talk about their rookie they drafted. Quentin Post out of Boston College, 7-footer that can shoot the three. I like Quentin Post. I think that was a good pickup for them. Averaged about 17 in college, 8 rebounds, about 2 blocks. So he can defend the paint a little bit with his 7-foot size, 7-foot frame. And also, he isn't like slow. He is 244 out there, but he can move. So I think that was a pretty good pickup for them. I haven't really caught none of their preseason games, so I haven't seen Post in action yet. But I do know that if he does get out there, that's one element that he can bring to them that they haven't had in forever. A 7-footer that can defend the paint and hit threes. And I think Steph Curry is still in his, not his prime, but I think he's still playing at an ultra high level. I think this team can still be competitive just due to that. It's just about the other pieces. Will Kuminga continue to ascend and continue to play at a good level? Will Wiggins come back to reality? I mean, we haven't. Last year was terrible, I believe, for Andrew Wiggins. He had a lot of off-the-court issues going on that derailed him on the court. So he has to get back to his form. Then, I believe they lost someone else. Excuse me. Let me see right quick, y'all, who they lost. Oh, it was only Dario Saric. Oh, Chris Paul was there last year. Chris Paul is gone now. We know where he's at. He went over there with Wemby with Spurs. He poured a blaze on us. He said, I'm going to go down there with Wemby. So we got Chris Blaze Paul down there with Wemby. He's gone now, which is cool. To be honest, I didn't like Chris Paul with this team. I didn't. I think Chris Paul, he's more suited for a big man. That's what Chris Paul has to have. Every big man that plays with Chris Paul looks like all world, and they not all that. No disrespect to Tyson Chandler, but he was hooping when Chris Paul was with him. You look at DeAndre Jordan. I believe he was an All-NBA first team with Chris Paul. So Chris Paul is very good for big. So that's why I think the Wemby move was excellent for him. But my guy, TJD, Trace Jackson Davis, that's my dude. I love this guy for this team. I think he plays an excellent role with this team. He's like the free-for-all guy. He's the guy that he just sets the pick, he roams around, he cleans up the glass, finishes his layups, and he plays with the edge. I like Trey Jackson. And I think one pickup that they did pick up that is, I think, underrated is Anthony Melton. This guy is a tenacious defender. He is one of the best on-ball defenders at the wing position, which will help Steph out a lot when they play against teams that got the SGAs, the Dame Lillards. Steph doesn't have to guard those guys. Melton, go ahead. Take it. Handle your business. Because I'm definitely not starting Buddy Hield. That's me. I'm not starting Buddy. I would start Melton. Steph, Melton. Actually, they're not going to start. They probably won't start Melton because of they just might. Let's do this. Because they like Podolsky so much, and we know that this Warriors team is known to run small all the time. That's what they do. Steph, Melton. Never mind. I forgot about Wiggins. Wiggins should start this year. If he gets back, and he has to get back for this team, because if he doesn't, this team is not going to be that good. You don't have that many wing defenders. So you got Steph. I would want to start Melton, but I think they're going to start Podolsky. Andrew Wiggins at the 3, Kuminga, and then Draymond. I think that's what they might roll with, because guys like TJD, he bring that force off the bench. But I'm with you, Ty. I don't think that they're gonna. I'm not saying they're done, but I don't think they're there. I think they're done is the fact that they're not a contender no more. They're just a team that can get scary, that can probably take out somebody if Steph Curry just go crazy. But we have to see other elements of this team perform before we can say they are anything. Because they didn't make the playoffs last year. I mean, yeah, last year. The year before last, they lost the first round, I believe, to the Lakers. Second round to the Lakers. Second round. So we're gonna see, man. I don't know what Paul's gonna do. If they say he gonna be like Clay, I'm all here for it. Let's just see what he gonna do, buddy. We watching you. You don't went to the Pacers and stunk it up. Went to Philly, stunk it up. Now you went to the West Side. See what you're gonna do. Back on the West Side, I must say, because you started with the Kings. So we're gonna see. I think they picked up Blake Henson. I don't think they drafted him. I think they just signed him. Another rookie out of Pittsburgh, and I believe that's it. But that's the Warriors for you, man. We're looking forward to seeing Steph Curry. To be honest, it's like no disrespect to nobody, man. Brandon Podemski, I really want to see what you can do when your role is elevated. So the spotlight is definitely going to be on you for sure. And TJD, I think you're going to be a big X factor this year. Year one under your belt, year two, I think you're only going to get better. So shout out to the Warriors. But that's the West Side for the day, y'all. Let's see. We got the Hawks. Let's do the Hawks first, y'all. We got to do the Hawks first because they didn't even make the playoffs. Like, you got... Let's talk about the Hawks. Atlanta Hawks. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm up here rapping. Atlanta Hawks. We know they coach Quinn Snyder. I believe with the Jazz about 8 years with Donovan Mitchell and Gobert. Couldn't get it done. Last year, the Hawks finished 36-46, 10th. They lost first round other play-in to the Bulls, who the Bulls then went on to lose to the Heat. So that was the Hawks season pretty much. They had a lot of injury, a lot of ups and downs with them. Their duo of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray wasn't able to really stay on the court together for a lot of the season, which really derailed them, I believe, in my opinion. But, you know, there's always something you can get out of the season. And I think one thing that they did get out of this season was that Jalen Johnson is a pretty good player. Jalen Johnson is, I believe, what's his fourth year now? Let me double check that for y'all real quick. I believe it's his fourth year. Yes, going on his fourth year. And let's just look at his numbers. First year, he only played 22 games, 5 minutes, 2 points a game. Second year, 14 minutes, 5.6 points a game. Third year, 33.7 minutes, 16 points a game. So you see, with more time, more. Okay. I can't say what I really want to say. More buckets came, man. This dude, Jalen Johnson, was getting double-doubles. He's able to stretch the floor. He's a guy that can catch lobs for a Trae Young out there, which we know Trae Young is a top 5, top 3 passer in this league. Always top in assists. And one thing that he does well is throw the oop. We done seen him many times throw it off the backboard to Clint Capella. So, we know what Jalen Johnson can do. I mean, if you ain't familiar, just go on YouTube and type his name in. He got a couple nice little dunks. But that's one thing I think they really learned, and I think that's something that made them a lot more comfortable with letting DeJounte Murray go. DeJounte Murray and the Trae Young experiment didn't go so well. Like I said, they wasn't really on the floor that much together. Let's see. Trae Young. It was really Trae Young, actually. He only played 54 games this year. Murray only missed 4 games. That's solid. That's solid, if you ask me. But They don't have Murray no more. Murray is now with New Orleans, which I think is better for the Hawks. I don't think Trae Young needs another point guard on his side. He needs another scorer, like a bigger guard, though. That's why I like that draft pick. Zachary Ricochet. Hold on. Ricochet. Sorry, I gotta learn how to pronounce his name. I'm just gonna say Zachary because I don't like mispronouncing people's name. But when you watch this kid play, man, he can shoot the ball. He has nice size. He reminds me of it's like two Jalen Johnsons out there, but I think he can shoot a little better. So Trae Young gonna average 10 assists again this year, y'all. Just off them two alone. I'm not gonna lie. I like those two young guys are gonna be running the floor. They both can finish good. Both can finish above the rim. Both can hit the three. I mean, and you got a guy like Trae Young out there willing and dealing. Still got my boy Clint Capella down there. A Congo. We saw what he did last year. Came in. Clint Capella went out. He started for him a couple times. Came off the bench. Doubles. I like a Congo. I think that this team is more suited for Trae Young. Let me say that. Even the year when they played against the Heat and they were doubling and tripling them, I think this team will be more equipped for that because he has a little bit more help on the wing with these guys like Jalen Johnson, the rookie. Then I like Bogdanovich. I think he's a dog out there. I like the way he plays with heart. He goes hard, and he's confident out there. He's not a superstar, but he will go hard at the superstars. And you like players like that. I think he can be a legit starter at the two guard in this league. So I like that. I like this little team that the Hawks got. I don't see them competing for nothing though, to be honest. I mean, Trae Young, I think Trae Young got a lot to prove this year, to be honest, because all we hear about is coaches getting fired, players getting traded, John Collins gone, Murray gone. Like, what's up, Trae? You went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a lot of people say you had a chance to make it to the finals if you didn't get injured. And ever since then, it's been you taking a step back each time. So this year, I mean, you are supposed to be a top player or a top guard in this league, So you got to produce, you got to stay healthy, and you got to get your team back into the postseason and be not a contender, but just a threat at least. This team is not, what's his name? AJ Griffin. He retired. That was shocking. I remember as a Magic fan, we played them. He was balling. He went to Duke. He was balling, but he retired. It's only second year, third year now. He came in with Paulo. Yeah, he retired. He probably tired of Trae Young too. And I'm a big Trae Young fan, but Trae Young got to show me something, man. I know he balled out last year. He gonna have the numbers, but where are the wins? We need to see wins. Chris Paul was always a top player, not just because his numbers. His team won. And he also played defense too, but his team won. So Trae Young, you are a top guard. You average 25 and 10 every year. So get some wins, my boy. Get some wins. Another sneaky player, Dyson Daniels, 6'7" guard. I think he's young still. He's only 21 years old. He's with the Pelicans last year. Has a lot of upside, especially defensively, which is very key when you have a guy like Trae Young out there who is undersized. I mean, he's a point guard, but he's still a very small guard out there. So having a guy like that is very key, I think, especially when Trae Young is like, if there are matchup problems, you can throw a guy like Dyson in, and he's not bad on offense neither. So we're going to see what this team do. They did draft, I believe, a big man. Let me see. I ain't drafting a big man. They should have drafted a big man because only center they got is Clint Capella. They got a Conku, which he is undersized center for real. There's a lot of other side stuff going on. Like I said, man, the center position is no longer the center position. It's just a big. Like, you're just a big now. You're not even a center no more. You're just a big. Okay, who we on to next, man? That's the Hawks right there. The Hawks will be a playing team again, most likely this year. Because Trae Young got to show me, man. I think, they got some young guys and Jalen Johnson, like I said, and Zachary. But that's not enough, man. Now when you got teams like the Magic out there doing that. The last team we got, which is crazy because they beat the Magic in the playoffs. That's the Cavaliers. Cavaliers, man. I don't even want to talk about them, man. Let me skip the time. Cavaliers finished 4th in the East, 48-34. They lost in the second round after beating the Orlando Magic in 7 games in the first round. They lost to Boston 4-1 in the second round. And the big change about this team this summer is they fired their coach, man. I did not think that he deserved to get fired. And I cannot think of his name right now, y'all. Type it in the comments for me, please. I cannot think of his name, but this is my guy too. I remember when the Magic played him and our coach, they're very close. However, he got fired, and now they have Kenny Atkinson, who we did see Kenny Atkinson, coach the Nets team when they had D'Lo, and they went to the playoffs that one year. He was the coach of that team, and that team overachieved that one year. So, I mean, he showed that he can do a little something, right? This Cavaliers team is pretty built, I must say. They have a solid starting five, one of the better starting fives in the league, I must say, with Garland, Mitchell, Karis LeVert. Actually, LeVert comes off the bench, so let's scratch that. I think Niang was starting once they got Niang. Niang starts. Evan Mobley, and then you have Jared Allen with Karis LeVert coming off the bench. Solid squad. They have a solid team, I must say. The number one thing for this team is the same thing with the Hawks. Their star player has to get them over the hump. Now, last year, this Cavs team dealt with a lot of injury. Thank you, Ty. JB Bickerstaff, that's my guy. They fired him. I don't know why. I mean, look at the Cavs team last year. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. Where is that? Here you go. Hold on. Right here. I gotta read this off. These stats. These games played. Donovan Mitchell, 55 games. Darius Garland, 57 games. Jared Allen played 77 games. Then got injured soon as the playoffs started. Didn't play at all in the playoffs. Evan Mobley, 50 games. That's 3 players already that have missed 20-plus games. And he still finished 4th in the East. Come on, bro. Who else? Even a bench guy, Dean Wade, who's an excellent defender for them, who's an excellent role player for them. He only played 54 games. Isaac Okoro, 69 games. That's not bad, actually. That's only 13 games. But you see the point I'm making. Like, they was facing a lot of injuries, and I thought he did a good job keeping his team above water. Like, they could have been done. They got a lot of good wins. I believe they beat the Celtics during that run without Donovan Mitchell and those guys. It's a cruel business, man. The NBA, NFL, all these things, man. It's a cruel business. I mean, I thought JB did an excellent job with this team, but I guess that they thought otherwise, man. This team is bringing back Sam Merrill. He's the excellent shooter for them. Trust me, I know as a Magic fan, he had like 7 threes on us. The story though for them is Imani Bates gonna play this year. We see what's happening. We see him in the G League getting buckets. We saw him in high school getting buckets. We saw him at Memphis College getting buckets. And now he's here. And I think he will bring a spark that this team can use. I mean, I'm not going to disrespect Karis LeVert. That's my guy. I'm a huge Karis LeVert fan. I mean, this dude is a two-way player. He plays hard on defense, and he can get a bucket. And don't forget, he can definitely, run the one for you as well. Cavaliers. This team is supposed to be one of the top teams in the East. However, they haven't did nothing. The most they've done since they assembled, this good roster is beat the Knicks in the playoffs, which a lot of people didn't think the Knicks was going to win in the first place because Donovan Mitchell is the best player on the floor when Randall is the Knicks' best player. So this Cavaliers team, I would say, has to stay healthy because they have the pieces. They have the star power. They have the players. Jared Allen is a solid big man to me. Like, I think he can go with any big man in the league. I don't think he's as good as like Jokic and Embiid because of how good they are on offense. However, when matched up in the game, he can rebound very well with those guys. He can defend those guys, I think, and he can put pressure on them to defend him with how active he is around the glass. It's just, is he going to be available? Evan Mobley, I thought he made an excellent leap last year. Started shooting the three more because when you're in this league now playing the four, you have to know how to shoot. You can't be a four not shooting unless you Draymond Green. And Draymond Green, I guarantee you, if the Warriors ain't went back then with him not shooting three, well, he was hitting some threes when they first started, but when they became who they became, he wasn't shooting a lot of threes. He thought he if they was losing, he was not gonna learn a three. He ain't learned a three because he ain't had to shoot a three. had the Splash Brothers all this time. And some more. However, you don't got that, Mobley. You need to learn how to shoot the three. Your mid-range ain't that bad, but you guys shoot the three. Darius Garland. This team just needs to show up. That's why I should have named this team. I should have just did a whole segment on need to show up teams. Because Cavaliers, y'all are one of them. Y'all been talked about as a top team in the East for the last couple years and haven't done nothing since they got Donovan Mitchell. So, Donovan Mitchell, a lot of this is on you. You are the best player. You did, however, win them that one game against the Celtics. But we got to see more. They fired JB Bickerstaff, which is sad, but that's the business, man. This team is a defensive team, and they have the opportunity to be that again this year. I think they still have pretty much the same team from last year. Actually, they picked up Ty Jerome, I believe. Oh, my boy. I got to holler at my boy CTC Carr because he ain't telling me this. He ain't telling me my boy was on this team last year. I've been thinking they had Larry Nash this whole time. My boy Pete been on this team all this time. All right. Yeah, they didn't make no major acquisitions this summer. Like I said, their biggest news was the coach. Firing Bickerstaff and hiring Kenny Atkinson. I don't see this team doing much. It's like, I need this team to do much because they have the team to do something with. I need to see Donovan Mitchell go out there and take over games. I need to see even Darius Garland. Darius Garland to me is really on the hot seat because he don't do enough. Let me look at his numbers right quick. Darius Garland, one of the most skilled guards in the league. Look, first year in the league. Look at this. 12 points a game. 17 points a game. 21-21. Last year, 18. He went backwards. And you would think he will average more assists, but he averaged less assists too last year. Now I know they got Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell does dominate the ball at times, but come on, man, we gotta do more, man. Like these guys are getting paid money. These guys are, these guys gotta perform, man. You got to. When it's time to perform, you gotta perform. And Darius Garland, I know in the playoffs against us, you had like 2 good games. So Darius Garland got to step his game up. I think this Cavs team can make some noise though. Like you said, they got Donovan Mitchell, who is a perennial star in this league. He's a guy that can take over games. We just gotta get more guys to come with him. So we're gonna see with this Cavs team too. But that's the Cavs for you, man. I don't really got much else to say about them. They beat my squad last year, and then they lost. They only won one game against the Celtics. They should let us win and play. We'll at least won 2. That's all I'm saying. We'll at least won 2. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, man, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. I will be on again. Same time. We will be talking about more teams. You might do 4, might do 5, might do 6. Never know. We're going to do a couple more teams, and we're really going to get ready for this NBA season. I'm excited. Orlando Magic is here, man. I was telling everybody, this ain't 3 years ago. We ain't bottom of the barrel. Shout out my boy Ty again. He a Pacer fan. You know what I'm talking about. But shout out to the network, man, the R2L network. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Everybody was in the comments. Y'all were lit. Shout out to the whole network. All the different shows on the network. All of them are linked down low in the bio. Stay tuned. Check in. Lock in with all of those guys. They all are very good at what they do. They know their stuff. And lock in, man. Shout out to my Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan if you didn't know. We are 4-2. We try to make it 5-2 this week, Sunday night against the Jets. Shout out to North Carolina basketball. And once again, man, thank you everybody for tuning in. Shout out my boy Ty. RBO is back, and I got a lot more content for you guys. We're gonna give you guys some graphics. Can't do too many videos due to you know what, but I got some stuff for y'all. Lock in on my YouTube. Not my YouTube, my IG as well. My IG is real.ballers.only. That's my IG. I want once again, I gotta thank everybody for locking in with your boy. Fun show. Glad to be back, and I look forward to seeing everybody again on the next episode. And it's gonna always be something to talk about. NBA season is here, and you already know, real ballers gonna ball.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.